Hey, I'm Tom Mealy. I'm with Madhouse TV. This guy just walked up the steps. I don't know what is the story with you?
I'm comedian Frank Prince.
Hey, what the hell do you want here?
I want my own reality TV show.
You think you're funny enough?
Hell yeah.
Well, how much money you got?
Short arms and deep pockets.
You think you can make it?
I'm the Myron J. Show.
You think?
I think.
All right.
I know.
We're going to give him a shot this spring here on Madhouse TV. Tune in and wait for
Frank Prince, the Myron J. Show.
There you go. We'll see you this spring. We got a ton of new shows coming up. My pal Frank Prince, great comedian. Wait to see him. Tune in to Madhouse TV this spring. Have a wonderful day.
We're here live. Welcome to the Frank Prince Show. I'm your host, Frank Prince. Little recap from last week's show. I want to thank Vanessa San Marco Arroyo and her sister for appearing on my show, Patrice Del Toro. Today I have special guest comedian Monica Talla. Hi, Monica.
Hi.
Welcome to the Frank Prince Show.
Oh, thank you, Frank.
You're welcome.
It's an honor and privilege to be here with you on your show.
Thank you.
I'm
Same here.
I'm very excited because, so are my friends. I told them I was going to be working with Prince, and they all got excited, and I told them, Frank Prince, the Prince of Comedy.
Thank you. Now, where do you live?
I live in Bethpage.
Okay.
In
And
Nassau County, New York.
What kind of work do you do?
Now I'm a full-time comedian,
Great.
an improv artist. Yeah, I was working in museums with the public in Nassau County. 2 years ago, due to budget cuts, I was being laid off, so I took a very, very early retirement.
Okay. And when did you start getting into comedy? How many years you've been doing it?
Oh, goodness. It's 11 years. I'm in my 12th year. I just celebrated my 11th year of doing stand-up comedy and improv on this past Sunday, July 21st, at the Brokerage in Evan Weiss's Summer Funny Pages Part 1 comedy show, with Rain Pryor as the headliner.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, when did you start? How does this work? You left your job, and then when did you want to become a comedian? Years ago. What's the process? You just got, you just say, I want to be a comedian. People don't know,
Well, there's various ways. I grew up, watching television, going to the movies. I always loved comedy. I watched all the variety shows, and I'm a history person, and I became interested in, silent film and comedians, so I read everything I could get my hands on from when I was about 10. There's a book, The Parade Goes By. I think it's by Richard Schickel. Is a prime book, and I started with that, and then I was also interested in Broadway musicals and musical theater and plays and American theater. And when I was at the Bronx High School of Science in drama class, we did a couple of scenes. So I was, get this, Felix in a scene from The Odd Couple with another woman playing Oscar in drag. This was several years before Neil Simon did a female version of The Odd Couple. And then I also did a scene from The Miracle Worker where I played Helen Keller's mother. Okay. So I had done, a little bit of theater, and then I was in the chorus for Guys and Dolls. When I was in college, I did a couple of plays. I went to SUNY Oswego, and I always had a sense of humor and would joke around. As I said, I grew up by watching all kinds of comedians. We would be here all day if I talked about everyone I liked. Right. And I got a job in museums. I was really going to be a social studies teacher, but jobs as now are tough. So I worked many years in the Nassau County Museums with the public, doing research on programs the planned, building cider mill at Old Bethpage Village restoration, circuses in America, outdoor recreation games, St. Nicholas, Gold Coast mansions. I did house tours. I did hiking tours. I did nature tours because we were shorthanded. And I had a very big science background, going to Bronx Science. And when I got divorced, I was having all these adventures when I was single again. And my friends would laugh when I would tell them what was happening. And I had done a lot of public speaking, in programs for the museum. And I also gave several scholarly papers and presentations at Hofstra University's Cultural Center on Theodore Roosevelt, American operetta, movies made in Nassau County, and the influence of women singers on Frank Sinatra's selections of songs. So public speaking in front of people became very natural to me. And then 11 years ago, it was my ex-husband's birthday, which is July 21st, and my kids were going to be with him. And there was a contest, Ladies of Laughter, which is run by Peggy Boyce, and it was at Mulcahy's in Wantor. And I said, I'm available, maybe I'll go do that. So wrote some jokes, went there to perform, and I'm a very nice person, and I had drawn by lottery number 14. But a woman who had number 1 was very upset. She was probably acting. She said she left her guitar home, and her brother had to go get it. Could someone trade places with her? And she had number 1. And I saw the cameraman and the interviewer from Channel 12, and I thought to myself, well, if I go on first, it's not good to go on first because they don't remember you later when they're judging. But if I go on first, it's almost certain I'll get filmed, and maybe it'll be on television. Right. So I went up first, and of course, because I was the first one, and also because I was the only clean comedian that day, they actually filmed me, and the first night that I performed stand-up comedy in front of a live audience also was my debut doing stand-up comedy on television, because my friend and her husband ran home after the show, and her husband stuck in a videotape and taped it. So I have my first appearance at Mulcahy's, and also it was aired, and you could hear me doing some of my routine on Cablevision 12 News, Long Island. So that's how I got started. And I thought this is an ideal thing to work on, to do at night. Wouldn't interfere with my day job, which meant a lot to me, and wouldn't take too much time away from my kids. So that's how I got started.
And how did you progress? Did you take comedy classes?
Yes, I took comedy classes.
And where were they?
And they were good. They were good. What? Well, I took one at Governor's, and then I took several at Stand Up University, given at the Brokerage, which is their sister club. Well, in the beginning, I think when I did it, it wasn't their sister club yet. So I studied there. Also, when some of my when I was there, they had an improv class, which was weekly. So first I took it with Jim Gallagher, and then he was succeeded by Al Isaacs. And my instructors at Stand Up University were Peter Bales, Rich Walker, and last but not least, Steve Lazarus. So I was doing that for a while, and then with a group of people I became friendly with in the class I took at Stand Up University. We took several classes together. We called ourselves the Comedy Garage. We took improv also with Heather Romano, and this was what's called short game improv, the kind you see on Whose Line Is It Anyway? And then when I lost my job, I realized I had all the time, and one of my kids had gone to Upright Citizens Brigade in New York City, and I didn't even realize they had a training center. So I thought, wow, now I have all this time, I could go. So in about 10 months' time, I completed their long improv, their Harold long form improv program. So I had both a background in short form improv and long form improv. So
What's involved in comedy class? You know, what you go to comedy school. What goes on in comedy school? How do you get material? And for people who were watching future comedians that are nervous, there is comedy school, and just go out and do it.
Well, first you should go out and do it. It's good to take classes because what your friends and family might think is funny when you talk to them will not necessarily work on a stage in front of, complete strangers. They would tell us to write 10 jokes a week.
Okay.
And I would keep even a wish list, so to speak, of different subjects that I would think of that, I'd like to write a joke about that. And, you think about sometimes funny things happen to you. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you hear about something from somebody else, and say, hey, this thing that person did, I could do something with it. And then sometimes you hear someone say something, and then the joke writes itself. You just open your mouth, and something comes up, because that acts as a catalyst, and, it just comes out. And then sometimes you don't need, it's good the way it is. And then sometimes, you have to rewrite it. I think Jerry Seinfeld said for every 10 jokes you write, 9 or 10 jokes, one will be really solid.
Right.
And then you have to try it out on people. And what we would do in the class is during the week you would write some jokes. I think the first week they asked, just write write subjects.
Okay.
Might be, write about things you don't like, write about things you do like, write about things that really annoy you, write about what you'd like to do.
Okay.
So that's the
That's the
process,
start.
right? And then
put it in sentence.
right. I also watched a lot of shows on comedians I liked.
Mm-hmm.
I'd watch other comedians on various TV shows when I have a chance, when I could stay up late. Of course, now you could tape things. When I was a little kid, we didn't have that. So if there was something airing, you had to set your alarm clock and wake up for it. I've still never seen all of Wuthering Heights because I couldn't get up or I would fall asleep during the movie or
Okay.
So then we would go over jokes in the class, and then they would critique and say, well, this could be funny or this could be stronger. Like usually you want to end your last word or next to the last word you say in your joke statement or punchline is what you want people to get as the point and to laugh at.
Okay, then you go to open mics, and then
Well, it should be going. Well, yeah, it should be going to what's called open microphone nights or short open mic nights, where you can go up, and hopefully there's civilians, regular audience. A lot of times, mostly comics, and you try it out because the only way you're going to know if it works is if you're going to try it out. Of course, anything you write, it's good practice to say it out loud because there are things like in an essay that are funny on paper, and then when you say it out loud, it doesn't come across. You want to be, you want to be smart, witty, and you want to be dynamic and engage the audience.
last night I was doing stand-up in 7-Eleven in Lindenhurst. Yeah,
Oh.
the little crowd there. It was really working
Okay.
out. Yeah.
All right. So it wasn't
Everywhere
the show.
I go, there's comedy all over the
Yes,
place.
well, as
And
long
you
as-
got to feel that moment. And
Yeah.
it's about
Well, I hope they
that too.
appreciate it. Maybe you could get the film. Maybe you can ask them to look at the
they're
film.
all coming to a comedy club.
Oh, good.
So
Oh, good,
It's like
right.
networking and getting out there and
Well,
doing
it's good to network. People always, they don't always want to, they don't always want to respond if you say. I haven't tried that yet, being in a store and joking, around in the store, especially people online. You know, they might not appreciate it. I also went out for a lot of contests. I've been on Last Comic Standing. You know, I spent all my life going working hard, going to college, and then some friends of mine were going to go to Last Comic Standing. You know, so I spent the night a couple of years in a row waiting outside by the I think it was the Hotel Chelsea, to get into a Gotham Comedy Club, and I was aired on the show teaching Fern Cotton, one of the two announcers, how to speak with a Brooklyn accent. Even though I've never lived or worked in Brooklyn, that's what she liked.
Well, we're going to go take a break, and we're going to have Monica go up on stage and perform for us. So we'll be right back.
Oh, but first I'm going to show you. You didn't let me give you the present. You know, you've been leaving it. I wanted us to have something. So, you know, before we go to the break, I have something for you in honor. You know, I wanted you to be surprised. And you see, you didn't even know. So this is for you. So I want you to open it. This is for your desk in your home office. Okay. So open it, and I hope you like it.
Thank you.
I hope you like it. Take a look and see what it is.
Take a look, and we're going to go right to a break.
Okay?
We're going to look. Mr. Potato Head, Don Rickles. There we go.
Toy Story. Well,
I love it. I really love it.
Yeah, I mean,
I love it.
Yeah,
this is me, Mr. Potato Head.
Right, that's for you.
Okay, we're going to go.
Your desk.
We're going to take a break. Thank you. We'll be right back with Monica Talla.
Hey, I'm Tom Mealy from the Harrison Law Group. You know, soft tissue injury, that's no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. Don't waste valuable time going to firms who don't get it and can't do it. Call 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware.
We have 3 of the largest showrooms of safes on display and in stock. You can see and touch them in person instead of browsing a catalog. We carry gun and rifle safes, burglary safes, jewelry safes, fire rated from a half hour to 2 hour. Famous name brands.
We sell Gardol.
We sell AMSAC.
The new AMSAC touchscreen.
If you're ever in need of a safe, think Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware. Right, Lockie?
That's right, Alan.
Huntington Toyota, the experience of a lifetime. Don't take our word for it.
The experience for me at Huntington Toyota made me feel very comfortable.
It's their professionalism, their honesty, and their integrity. I've bought at least 9 or 10 cars here at Huntington Toyota. They give me the best price around.
It never was about high pressure. It never was about them. It was always about us.
Today's cars are very similar, but Huntington Toyota is very different.
Huntington Toyota, where it's all about you.
Hey, I'm Tom Mealy from the Harrison Law Group. You know, soft tissue injury, that's no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. Don't waste valuable time going to firms who don't get it and can't do it. Call 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Hog's hair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
We're back, live on the Frank Prince Show. Well, here we go. I'm going to introduce your comedian, Miss Monica Talla.
I love to go hiking, but I don't take a hiking stick. I just take myself, and I made it all the way to the top of a mountain. Then I heard a voice. Dick's Sporting Goods is closing in 10 minutes. Next weekend, I'm going scuba diving at Harrow's. I've also gone skydiving. I landed on my knees in the middle of a cornfield. That was the first time I ever saw a scarecrow smile. I'm Jewish, as you could hear, and I love being Jewish because of the great foods we have. Pastrami on rye, matzo ball soup, and my favorite, shrimp and lobster sauce. I grew up in the Bronx, as you could also hear, and I was in a gang. I was in the pale, freckle-faced Jew girl gang. The guys did coke. We did Diet Coke. The guys did ecstasy. We had ecstasy when we got our hair and nails done. And I went to Bronx High School of Science. It was a special school for math and science. And I had to take an exam to be accepted, an oral exam. And my parents were Romanians, so I'm a first-generation American. They wanted us to speak proper English. So my brother, sister, and I, the only English we know is, what is your name, how are you, and that darn kid is eavesdropping again. I'm divorced with 3 daughters, so I'm nervous about internet dating. Last time I did it, I sent out my teenager. It turned out really well. In December, I'm going to be a grandma. I have a car, and I'm the only one with the car, so I have to chauffeur them all over Long Island. So when we go out, I'm the one that says, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" And whichever daughter I'm with, she'll say, "Ma, we're still in the driveway. Why don't you take your medicine and focus?" All right. I've also done a lot of film extra work because, after all, you could see I'm very photogenic and personable. I was a German woman in a World War II Berlin scene with Matt Damon and William Hurt, directed by Robert De Niro, standing on a pile of rubble, picking up bricks to rebuild Berlin. I was afraid to talk on the set. Everyone else here, they were pale, they were blue-eyed. They weren't. They weren't Jewish. I was afraid if I opened my mouth, I would get taken away by the Russian soldiers by train. I also almost had a kissing scene in a film, but I had to turn it down. It was with Kevin Bacon. I didn't meet anybody at that scene, that I shot, so I took a singles trip to India. I met the guy that fixed my computer. I had a fabulous time with Patel. But then he tried to outsource me to his cousin. And somebody did, fix me up with a guy, and he took me to New York City to the Russian tea room. He ordered cake made with goat cheese. I tried it. It wasn't bad. Then he took me to a candlelight lit restaurant, but I held the menu too close to the candle and I set it on fire. He got really mad when I put it out. I used his toupee. He said, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, luckily I carry everything in my pocketbook. So I just fixed it with duct tape. He's really great. He took me shopping all over, but I don't know if I like those saleswomen in Manhattan. I asked for something. The woman told me to go to another location. Who knew there's Lord & Taylor in hell? And I wanted these lavender sparkle shoes, and I had to fight over them with another customer. And I lost. Boy, that guy was strong. That reminds me, my boyfriend in high school turned out to be gay. I should have known. He was a great kisser, but he was a perfect gentleman. This guy is really great. He thinks I have the body of a 20-year-old. He gets his glasses at the dollar store. I'm a little worried. I hope he doesn't go there to get condoms. I heard that the makers of Monopoly want to get rid of jail. They shouldn't do that. That's the only way kids learn to be afraid of going to jail. I want to give women out there some advice. I hired an interpreter so I know what you men really mean when you speak to us. Girls out there, when a guy says hello to you, he means, I want to have sex with you. When a guy says, it's gonna storm, he means, I want to have sex with you. And when a guy says, I forgot my wallet, he means, I want you to pay, and I want to have sex with you. And if a guy says, I want to have sex with you, that means you're not getting dinner till after sex. Now, I know a lot of you out there watch the Long Island Medium who talks to dead people. I don't care about talking to dead people. I want to know when I'm going to become rich and famous. So that's why I need a psychic who lies. I'm glad you're all laughing, I hope, out there, because laughter is the best medicine, and there's no medical copayment. I'm Monica Tyler. Monica in Latin means give her advice, and Tyler means shut up already. Thank you, friend, my dear friend, for having me as a guest on your show.
You're welcome. Thank you. Well, it's come to an end. The Frank Prince Show, live. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you next week, same time.
Oh, and look for me, Monica Tyler, on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and Frank as well, Prince as well, the Prince of Comedy. I'll be appearing next week at Ricochet's Club in Lindenhurst, Suffolk County, New York, on West Hoffman Avenue. Wednesday night. That's my latest show.
Thank you. Thank you. Gotta weave in. Where are we?